Hi, I'm Terry Brock, and you know, social media is changing the world. We've seen that small businesses are using it a lot. Twitter is one of the hallmark packages that is being used. It's a platform that people use all around the world, and today, got a special treat for you. We've got an expert on Twitter joining us right now from her offices there in Calgary, Canada, is Darlene Hull. Darlene, thanks for joining us today.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Well, I know you're using Twitter a lot. First of all, tell us a little bit about your background, who you are, and the things that you've done, not only with Twitter, but with social media and helping businesses in general.
Well, I come from a background of multiple business failures, and I had to figure out how to make my businesses work. My ideas were good, they were solid, I worked hard, but I never really got anywhere. And I realized that part of my problem was the marketing. And I discovered social media. I've been on social media now for 8 years.
8 years, wow.
8 years, yes. And Twitter was one of the places I started. I actually started before Facebook existed, so Twitter was the best bet then. And did a lot of experimenting with it, discovered that because it's free to use, it's a great tool for small businesses that don't have a big budget, but it takes a little bit of skill to figure out how to use it so that it works. And so that's where I've been spending a lot of my energy and time. And as my Twitter account has been built and becoming more effective, more people find out about me, and then they start asking me questions, and there you have it. You become a Twitter expert.
Yeah, and it works very well. Well, let me ask you this as we get started. What do you see are some of the major benefits? I know you could probably go on for days and days as you help many people with this, but just real succinctly, what would you say are some of the major benefits of using Twitter for a small business who's cash-strapped? They don't have a lot of funds, but they know they need to get their message out there.
Twitter is fantastic because there's so many tools that use Twitter, so you can actually use any number of things to find exactly the clients you want, right down to their name. So if you decide you need Joe Blow on Smith Street to be part of your business, you can actually connect to him personally if he's on Twitter. And then you can use that connection, even if he's not really following you, you can still be part of his world by retweeting some of his posts or by replying to things that you see. He starts to see you in his own stream, and then possibly will start to follow you. So you can actually use Twitter to connect to whoever you need to connect to.
Yeah, it's a way to get in touch with people that you probably wouldn't otherwise.
Exactly. And you can not only find them by name if you know who they are, but you can also find them by, so if you're trying to define your ideal client, you can find them by keyword. So it's a terrific first place to connect with people.
Yeah, I like it. There's a lot of benefits on that. But now, there are those that have been around for a while. They're using it and they say, oh, Twitter, it's just old school stuff. It's kind of out of date now. How do you respond to someone that says that?
Well, Twitter continues to grow. There are some fantastic statistics. I believe Twitter is tripled in the last 8 months. So it's still growing. It's still a valid place to be doing your marketing. And because of the tools that surround Twitter, because it's been around so long, it's one of the easiest places to do social media marketing.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. There's a lot of benefits that we get from it. I know I'm using it a lot, and the more I use it, the more I like it. Particularly as I get to know the nuances and the protocol and how we should do it. It seems like, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, each platform, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, they all have their certain ways of doing things, nuances and acceptable protocol, things that you could do on Twitter you would not want to do over on LinkedIn, and vice versa.
Absolutely.
And they seem to be like that. Do you find that as people understand those nuances, they can do a little bit more with them?
Oh, yeah, because so many people tell me, oh, social media is easy. I just post the same thing across the board. And that's probably one of the worst things you can do for your business. Different platforms need different kinds of traffic streams. Twitter needs quite a bit of traffic. Facebook better not be a whole lot. And LinkedIn needs a completely different kind of traffic stream from Twitter or Facebook, for example. So you have to understand exactly the nuances between the different platforms and use each one of them properly.
Yeah, and understanding those would be important. And matter of fact, a good way to do that, I understand that you and I will be involved in a webinar coming up very soon as we're recording this.
Yes.
You know it's coming up. Tell us a little bit about that. When I know you're going to be covering the Twitter side of it, tell us a little bit about that and how people can get involved.
Well, I'm very excited about this. It's called the Social Media Intensive. We have 6 different experts in social media coming that day, and it's going to be more than theory. So there are all kinds of ways where you can get lots of theory. What we want to be able to give people are hands-on things. They can finish the seminar, sit down, and actually apply them right away to their business and see a difference. So we've got 6 people from all over the place who are really experts in their field, and we're going to be sharing those tips, and it's on July 10th and 11th. You can find it through my Facebook on my Facebook page, Hotspot Promotion. You can find it at karentheconnector.com/social media intensive, I believe is the actual link. And yeah, so sign up for it. It's just a donation to Make-A-Wish Foundation. So we're not making any money off of it. We're raising money for Make-A-Wish Foundation and hoping to help as many small businesses as possible.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a real good option to see that. But there's going to be a lot of things covered there, from blogging. I'll be talking about Twitter. You're talking about. We're seeing others talk about Pinterest and Facebook and using LinkedIn. So it'll be a good way to learn about a lot of those. But while I got you here, you had talked about some of the ways that people are using Twitter wrong and improperly. You've worked with a number of small businesses, many of them helping them. What are some of the key factors, not all of them, but maybe some of the major ways that you see that businesses are not using Twitter effectively, and what they need to do to correct that?
There are 2 big problems that I see. The first one is inconsistency. So you'll get a stream where maybe one day you might post 12 times because you sort of log in and you get into a conversation, and you're there the whole day and you're doing all kinds of posting and you're very visible, and then you disappear for a week. And that's not good. With all social media, consistency is a key. And the other thing small businesses do is they take their Twitter stream and it's just one ad after another. Ads, 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 ads. And that's the worst way to promote anything on social media.
Yeah, agreed. I've seen that before. These people that they're hurting themselves. They think
are.
they're marketing. They think they're just going out and they look at it as if it were broadcast, which is how they're treating it, as if they were just putting an ad in the newspaper or they were shouting on the radio with that. And that's not the way to do it, because then what happens is, I don't know about you, but when I see people like that, just yesterday, there was a guy that had been doing that in a particular medium and just obnoxiously promoting his stuff over and over and over. And I wanted to kind of keep in touch with him, but I thought, no, this is ridiculous. So I just said, he's out of here, and unsubscribed.
Yeah, it happens all the time. But not only that, unsubscribed and blocked.
Yes.
If I get those kinds of spam comments over and over and over again, I will actually block them so they can't follow me again. And that's really bad for your reputation online. So you certainly don't want to do that. The thing to think about right now is old school marketing is interruptive marketing. It's the kind of thing where an ad shows up where you don't want it, right? That's what you want to avoid. What we're looking for right now is engagement and educational marketing. So anything that brings people into a conversation or improves their life, helps ease their pain, that's the way you want to market today.
Yeah, I like the way you do that. I talk a lot about what I call R-commerce, relationship commerce, and getting to know people. I say it's not about the e-commerce, it's about the R-commerce.
That's a great statement.
And it's the way to get to know people. You find out who they are as human beings, what their needs are. And that way, then people are more interested in working with you. And it might be they're not going to be buyers of what you're selling. For instance, as me as a professional speaker, not everyone is hiring a professional speaker. But they might know of someone or might be able to talk to the people at their association or in a group or their company and say, hey, we need Terry to come in. Well, if I just come in and start saying, hi, I'm wonderful, buy my stuff, people aren't going to like that. You know, they go,
no,
hey,
not at all.
Get out of here. You know, we don't want it because we don't want that kind. But we want to get to know people, and we want to then grow up that tree, the know, like, and trust. Get to know, and
don't
then we
forget
have
the
fourth.
remember.
What's that?
Don't forget remember.
Yeah, exactly. Remember. So they know, they like you, they're trusting you, and they're remembering you. But then that's where, like you said, consistency. You're regularly there. If you're in there with 500 ads on Twitter on one day, and then you're not around for 6 months, you're not going to get very far. You want to space it out on a regular basis. It just makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before we let you go, I want to find out a little bit. Tell me a little bit about your company and the kind of things you do. And matter of fact, while we're doing this, we're recording this right here on Skype. I'm going to bounce over to your website so people can see this. We're over here and get a chance to take a peek at it. And we're going to see here at Hotspot Promotion. Tell us what you do there.
My heart is for the small business. We say that no budget's too small and no challenge is too big. So if you have a small business and you're having trouble getting out there, we'll sit down with you and we will figure out a strategy that works for you for both your budget and for your time. So we mostly what we do is social media. That's our specialty. But we also have terrific follow-up programs. We have a lot of different creative ways that you can get into your community. And we don't have packages because every business is original. So we try to sit down with you and start from scratch to develop something that works for you and for the people you're trying to reach.
Excellent. Well, you're doing a great job with that, and people want to get in touch with you. They can do that through your website. And also tell us again about the webinar that's coming up so they can make sure they get involved with you that way for really only a donation to a worthy cause, the Make-A-Wish. And so people get in there and can get a chance to find out about it. What's the information they need on that?
Yeah, it's July 10th and 11th. It's going to be online. It's a webinar. You can find out more information about it on my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/hotspot promotion. And there's a sign up link right there that you can see, or you can go to the web link at karentheconnector.com/social media intensive.
Sounds good. Well, Darlene, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate you taking time so we could be with you, and we're looking forward to hearing more from you in the future.
Thanks very much, Terry. I appreciate the time.